Good morning, pharmacy. I hope you had a great 4th of July. Okay, so I'll get down to business because final exam is today. Just quick announcement. I opened access to final exam at 11 in the morning. Actually 12 because that's mountain time, okay? From noon till 3 only. The final exam is 25 questions, but 100 points. So it's counting it as 25 questions, but there are a couple of fill in the blanks. What I'm going to do in the first session is to cover the homework, which is this one, okay? So bring out your flow rate and your drip rate, and I have a couple of things that I need to clarify for your homework. Okay, I'll adjust the schedule name, thanks. Okay, flow rate and drip rate. Before some of you joined us, Stormy, Nate, and I were clarifying and Richard were clarifying something, okay? This round up and round down issue, okay? A lot of pharmacists and even techs check with each other if it's round up or round down. Some books will say round down, some books will say round up, okay? Listen to this. Ms. J and I talked about this during our meeting. So in practice, if it's flow rate, your final answer is ml per hour. We follow the rule of rounding up for flow rate, okay? Drip rate, round down drip rate. That is drops per minute, meaning anything after the whole number is dropped. Okay, can you follow? Yes, my Shauna? Is that clear? That is in practice. However, your final exam, I browsed it, okay, and I saw that it followed the rule of rounding down, meaning drop anything after the decimal point, okay? Drop anything after the decimal point. So I'm trying to see on your final exam the ml per hour, okay? Answers for ml per hour. Yeah, it followed the rule of rounding down, be it flow rate or drip rate. So bear that in mind, okay? It followed the rule of rounding down, be it flow rate or drip rate. So here on my notes, I actually said whole numbers, round down. Okay? Round it to a whole number and then follow the rule of rounding down. For final exam, correct, Nate, round down. Okay? It doesn't matter if it's flow rate or drip rate. That clear? Okay. And even if the final answer will be drops per minute, the question may be, what is the flow rate? Is that clear? That's where Stormy got confused. Because the major topic is flow rate, okay? If we're gonna be more technical, flow rate is ml per hour and drip is drops per minute. If we're gonna be more technical. But for instructions on test, most of the time they just ask you, what is the flow rate? But then it's asking you in drops per minute because flow rate is the major topic. Is that clear? Yeah, okay. I'll do number one, which I did on the video lecture. The answer to number one is 50 drops per minute. Nate, why 50 drops per minute? So there was an order of 2000 ml. Can you see my screen? Yes, which is my volume, okay? And then what else was given? I have 10,000 units of heparin to infuse at 750 units per hour. So I have here another 750 units per hour that's given. The drop fact, oops, what happened to my screen? Did I lose it? Okay. So the drop factor constant, which is my C, is, let's see. The drop factor constant is 20 drops per minute. Oops, I wasn't looking. $20 drops per minute. What is the flow rate? What is the flow rate? So what's being asked of me? Isn't it R? This is my X, right? What is the flow rate? And it has to be in drops per minute. But Richard, there's a variable that's missing. What is that variable that's missing still?
The minutes, time.
Your minutes, which is time. And how do we compute that? You have another given here that says it will have to be, the heparin has to be infused at 750 units per hour. And the order is for 2000 ml quarter normal saline with 10,000 units heparin. Can you follow? So what do you think you should do first step? Richard, back to you.
Put this in a ratio proportion, so 750 units per hour, where you have to change that to minutes, so it'd be 700 units over 60 minutes. Correct.
That's a fast way to do it. 750 units. If I were you, I'm going to change which one? The hours to minutes right away.
Mm-hmm.
Which is going to be 750. Oops. For every hour, and Richard said he did minutes right away, so he doesn't have to have a problem with it. And then ratio proportion, this will be 10,000 units over X minutes. With ratio proportion, you cross multiply. 10,000 divided by 60, 10,000 times 60 equals, divided by 750, that would be, what would be your minutes? Richard?
800 minutes.
800 minutes. Now can I proceed with my drops per minute? V over T times C. Okay, so what is my V? My V would be, let me change my ink. What is my V? Shauna, proceed. 2,000 ml. And what is my T now? Over 800, I can't hear you. Minutes. What's next? Times C. What's my C?
It would be 20 drops per ml.
Is it per ml?
Yeah.
Look at my C. Oh yeah, I had it wrong in here. Okay. Drops per ml, correct. Wait, nobody corrected me. On this one. This has to be what? Drops per?
ml.
Correct. So how do we proceed now? Again, your C is drops per ml. So going back, Richard was saying, thanks Richard. Richard was saying V over T, your V is 2,000 ml, your T is 800 minutes. And then what is your C? V over T times C, we follow that formula, ml. What can I cancel? My ml. Okay, this is not ratio and proportion. So what do? Multiply all numerators. 2,000 times 20, that will be 40,000 divided by 800. What is the answer? Your final answer will be in drops per minute. What is the answer there? Nate, can you follow? 50 drops per minute. Is that clear? Is it simpler now? Did you understand that one, Marlene, Josh, Julio?
Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Number 2. What's the answer to number 2? My Shauna, are you there? Or did I lose you? I don't see you on the screen. Josh, you don't have this worksheet, right?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So if you'll notice, my answers, I scratched them off because I had to follow the rule of rounding down. Okay? So make it a habit for your final exam today. Final answers must be rounded down. Drop the decimals after the whole number.
I'm taking the math final exam.
No, Josh, you're only taking tomorrow's final exam, which is compounding. But you're free to join us today, okay? You're welcome to join us today. Okay, next one. Julio, answer to number 2.
Number 2 is 12 drops per minute.
Correct. Okay. My final answer is 12.5 drops per minute. Okay. And then the answer key in red, which is not my answer, says 13. But because I was following the rule of rounding down, I put on my notes like what I said. That's clear? Final answer, whole number, round down. So I changed the final answer to follow the rule of rounding down. Is that clear? So the final answer to number 2 is 12. Julio is correct. 12 drops per minute. Okay. Next one. I'm not going to do the work for each of these because the process is the same for numbers 1 to 10. Okay. It changes for numbers 11 to 15. 11 to 15 is find the time. Actually 11 to 20, okay? If you notice, it's every 10. First one is R, find the R. The next set of 10 is find the T. And then the next set of 10 is find the V, okay? So number 3, Dawn, can you give me the answer to number 3?
It should be 7 drops.
Correct, it's 7 drops per minute. Again, I'll show you my answer. I scratched that off. The 8, I did 7 because we're following the rule of rounding down, okay? Number 4, order 1 liter half normal saline with 10,000 units of heparin to infuse at 1,000 units per hour. The drop factor is 20 drops per ml. What is the flow rate? Shauna, are you on the same page now?
Yeah, but I have to redo it because I skipped the step because I was doing it differently.
Okay.
So I'll do it real quick and then.
Okay, I'll get back to you on 4. Okay. I lost my Shauna though. Number 5. Marlene, can you give me the answer to number 5? Number 5 is order 50 ml normal saline with 100 units of heparin to infuse at 10 units per hour. The drop factor is 20 drops per ml. What is the flow rate in drops per minute? The question is straight to the point. So the answer, okay, must be in drops per minute because on the blank, it said blank GTT per minute. Can you hear me, Marlene? I'll move on while I wait for Shauna's answer on 4 and Marlene's answer on 5. Number 6, Richard. Order 3,000 ml half normal saline with 10,000 units of heparin to infuse at 750 units per hour. The drop factor is 15 drops per ml. What is the flow rate?
I got 56 drops per minute.
Correct.
I'm not sure if I rounded down.
It's 56.25. So 56 drops per minute is correct. Okay? Nate, are you catching on now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Julio just left. Dawn, are you there? Number 7. Order 250 ml D5W with 10,000 units of heparin to infuse at 250 units per hour. The drop factor is 15 drops per ml. What is the flow rate?
It's 1 drop per minute.
Correct, 1 drop per minute. Don't mute yourself yet. What is the V?
It's number 7, right?
Number 7, correct.
My volume is 3,750 drops.
No. Go back to the problem, number 7.
Oh, okay. The volume is 250 ml.
Correct. And what is your C?
My C is 15 drops per ml.
Correct. There's no T. How did you compute for T?
I converted the hour to minutes.
Correct.
Unit per hour. I converted it to 250 units per 60 minutes equals 10,000 units over X. Then I came up with 2,400 minutes.
Correct, okay? So convert your hours to minutes. That's a fast way to do it. You do it right away. Or you keep it as 25 units per hour and then do dimensional analysis and then move on. I remember Richard saying in the chat room that dimensional analysis helped me so much with this homework, okay? But what you can do is ratio and proportion, like what most of you have been doing. 250 units per hour can be 250 units over 60 minutes, and then proportion 10,000 units. That's how you can get the number of minutes. Now you have a T. Now all your variables that you need are there. You have a T, you have a V, and you have a drop factor constant, okay? Correct answer is 1 drop per minute. I sent you an email, okay. So number 8, Julio.
Number 8, I got 66 drops per minute.
Correct. My final answer turned out to be 66.67, okay? But again, I'm highlighting and I'm emphasizing that we'll follow the rule of rounding down, okay? Rounding down. So the final answer is 66. That's for number 8. Order for liters, D10W with 10,000 units of heparin to infuse at 5,000 units per hour. The drop factor is 20 drops per ml. What is the flow rate? The answer is 66 drops per minute. Number 9. Nate, do you have an answer now for number 9?
No, I can't for line through 8.
You're so choppy, Nate. Can you type your answer for number 9? Okay, back to you, Shauna. Number 4. Yours is number 4, right?
Yeah, I got 33 drops per minute.
Good job. Okay, 33 drops per minute. Order 1 liter, half normal saline with 10,000 units of heparin to infuse at 1,000 units per hour. The drop factor is 20 drops per ml. What is the flow rate? Okay. Dawn, do you remember what heparin is for? Why is it infused? What's an important information about heparin?
I'm not ready for this.
Can we take heparin by mouth?
No, it's by injection.
By injection, why? The stomach acid destroy heparin. Okay, so we cannot take it by mouth. Julio, do you remember when we give heparin? What is it for?
Heparin is a medication that stops clotting or to, the process of making clots in the blood. So it's given after an operations or when you have DVT, deep vein thrombosis, or when you have a tendency of just getting clots on your veins.
Okay, I want you to check if heparin is given before surgery or after surgery, okay? There's a difference, okay? Is heparin given before surgery or after surgery? Is
Even
it
after surgery,
okay?
for major surgeries, usually when, you know, it's a big cut.
Okay, good. Next one, number 5. Marlene tried to answer number 5. Good job. Marlene, I haven't checked my emails today, so I'll go by your number 5 answer. It seems like you don't have your answer sheet with you, but yes, the answer to number 5 is correct. 1 drop per minute. Order 50 ml normal saline with 100 units of heparin to infuse at 10 units per hour. The drop factor is 20 drops per ml. What is the flow rate? It's 1.66, but if we are to follow the rule of rounding down, it's going to be 1 drop per minute. Where are we now? Did we do number 8? Yes? Okay. Number 9 is for you, Nate. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, the answer is not 150. The answer is not 150. Okay, Julio, number 10. Order 1,250 ml of D5W with 10,000 units of heparin to infuse at 50 units per hour. The drop factor is 60 drops per ml. What is the flow rate?
I got 6 drops per minute.
6 drops per minute. 6 drops per minute, okay? My final answer is 6.25. So if I'm going to follow the rule of rounding down, my real final answer should be 6 drops per minute. Correct. Nate, correct. Number 9 answer is 75 drops per minute.
Yeah, I was just looking
75
at the wrong
drops
thing.
per minute. It is okay to commit those mistakes as early as now while you're in the classroom, okay? I always say classroom, even if we're not in the classroom. It is very easy to commit those mistakes outside as well. But I'd rather that you commit these mistakes here in the classroom. Shauna, why are you smiling? Because I'm erasing my board? I thought because I'm erasing my board. I have to feel that I'm erasing my board too. Okay. So yeah, in the classroom, commit that mistake. Your dog is being silly on the stairs. Okay, so in the classroom, commit those mistakes. Miss L and Miss J are still there to correct you. But once you're out in the field, we're gonna have a problem, okay? What does that mean? Well, if you calculate wrong, we may damage our patient, okay? When I say damage, it can be as simple as underdose or overdose that can be corrected after what? After getting off of the medication. Or it can be, we'll have to do a dialysis on the patient because we gave the wrong drug, the wrong amount. Or worse, we can make a patient comatose or dead, and we don't want that. You don't want that on your head, okay? You want to be able to sleep good at night. Okay, let's do numbers 11 to 20. 11 to 20 questions. I'm down to my last 10 minutes, last 9 minutes, okay? I'll try to do 11 to 15, but I'll work on number 12 since I worked on number 11 in the video, okay? Answer to number 11, okay? If you have a 1,000 ml bag that is infusing at a rate of 20 drops per minute, the administration set delivers 10 drops per ml. How long will it take to infuse? Richard, what did I say in the video is the answer?
Well, the answer is 200 minutes. In the video, you went over number 15.
Oh, I went over number 15 in the video?
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
thanks. So you want me to do number 11? You guys want me to do number 11 to begin with on this 10? Okay, this is what we're gonna do. So if you have a 100 ml bag, so I have a given. So let me put, what was the question? How long? How long, which means I'm looking for what? Time, right? How long means I'm looking for time. Oops. Let me erase this. I'm looking for time right away. If you have a 100 ml bag, what is that, Richard?
That's the volume.
That's the volume. That is infusing at a rate.
So that's the rate, yeah.
20 drops per, be very careful with the drops per minute, because if it's drops per ml, that's a drop factor constant, which is this, C, 10 drops per ml. What is your answer on number 1?
I got 200 minutes.
200 minutes, okay? That's not my answer, okay? What is your answer, Julio?
I got 50 minutes.
Correct, it's 50 minutes. So let's go back to the major formula, which is V over T times C, which is your R. This is our main formula, okay? So how can this be translated? Okay, this also means that R equals, multiply all numerators, that's VC, right? Over T. Is the formula on the box same as the formula that I wrote below it? Exactly the same, right? But what you're looking for is what? Time, right over here. You can plug in the numbers now, right? However, some of you want that the X be on the left side. We can do that. And how do we do that? Let's transpose again. This will be RT equals VC. Is that correct? And if we want to leave the t on the left side, we'll have to divide both sides by r. Now we can cancel the r. So our formula now is t equals VC over r. Can you follow? And then you start plugging in the numbers. What is our V? This will be 100 ml. What is our C? It will be 10 drops per ml. Okay. And what is our T? Do we have a T? No. The denominator here is R because we're looking for the T. What is the R? 20 drops per minute. What can we cancel? Look real fast. This is ml in the numerator, ml in the denominator. Drops in the numerator, drops in the denominator. So we're left with minutes. This will be 100 times 10 will be 1,000. This will be your drops. No, we've canceled the drops already. So there's no drops in here. Whatever will be left is your time, which is minutes. Can you follow? 1,000 divided by 20, you'll be left with minutes answer. And that would be, Kuya, what's the answer again?
50 minutes.
50 minutes. Did you get it, Richard?
I see what I did wrong. I put the wrong thing on top.
Okay. Stormy, you got it? Okay. What about you, Shauna? You got it?
Yeah, I did the same thing as Richard. I put it wrong, like the
Oh,
drops per
okay. Be
minute
careful,
and
huh?
ml. Yeah.
Be careful when you do that. Okay. Don, did you get this answer? 50?
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on. 12. Answer to number 12, Don. Oops.
The answer is 1 hour and 40 minutes.
Correct. Okay. I want you to be very careful. Your final answer most likely will be 100 minutes, right? But what if the test asks you specifically blank hour 40 minutes? I'm emphasizing this because this is a common mistake, okay? 100 minutes would be, this is easy. You take out 60, that's your 1 hour, right? And what's left is 40. That's 40 minutes. However, on number 15, which I did on the video, the answer is 1,412 minutes or 1,411.76 minutes. So I have to convert that remainder. And how do we do that? We have to remember that there's 60 minutes in an hour all the time. We can use dimensional analysis. So for the 100 minutes, this is pretty easy. How do we do that? Take out what? Take out 60 from 100, and that's your hour. And then, so this is your 100 minus 60. This is your 60 minutes. This is equivalent to 1 hour. And then what's left is 40 minutes. So your final answer is 1 hour and 40 minutes. Okay, that was easy. Okay, do not put your final answer as 100 minutes, especially when it asks you 2 hours and minutes. Who got 1 hour and 40 minutes? Okay, thanks, Julio. Thanks, everyone. Number 13. Number 13, Shauna, do you have an answer for number 13?
125 minutes.
125 minutes. Can you convert that to hours and minutes?
2.08. So
Okay.
2 hours and.
So you can't do the 0.8.
Yeah.
Okay. So 125 minutes, let's convert that to hours and minutes. So what was your answer? Let me do that. 125 divided by 60. 2.08, you said, okay. But your 2.08 hours, that's still in hours, okay? So what do? What's 0.8 of 60? You have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So 0.08 times 60 is what?
4.8.
4.8 minutes. So what do we do now? This will be 2 hours and what? 5 minutes.
Oh, could
You
do that.
follow? 2 hours and 5 minutes. Did you see how I calculated it, dimensional analysis, and then I got the decimal that was left and multiplied it by 60. That's how you get the number of minutes, the remainder. Is that clear? Okay. Answer to number 14 is 12 hours and 13 minutes, 30. And answer to number 15 is 23 hours and 32 minutes, okay? I'll send you guys on a 10-minute break and then we'll continue on with the worksheet, okay? It's 10:39, I'll count it as 10:40. Let's come back at 10:50, okay? So solve number 14 and 15 if you didn't get the correct answer. Number 14 answer is 12 hours and 30 minutes. And number 15 answer is 23 hours and 32 minutes. I did number 15 on the video.